Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jordan and Drew, the sports crew, Drew's college athlete spotlight. And we're already on episode 3 here. We had Johnny Tim episode 1. We had Spencer's strike week 2. And we're now in D3. We're going to basketball now. So we have Kyle Tuma from UW-Platteville on, Valdez alumni as well. So Kyle, how you doing today?
Good. I'm good. How are you doing, Drew?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Kyle, thanks for asking. And it's great to have you on because, like I said, we're both from Valdez. So it's just great to have someone on Valdez who's playing college sports right now because the other guys I had on, I mean, Johnny Tim's from Reedsville, Spencer Strike from Antioch Lutheran. So it's good to have someone from Valdez on today. So we're going to be talking basketball, and we'll get right into it right away here. So yeah, basketball, you were playing at Valdez your whole life basically, right?
Yep. Been there my whole life. So
you started like 3rd, 4th grade?
So we started basketball around 2nd grade, I think, actually. Just like the three on threes. We were big into those in elementary school and middle school, just throughout playing those all summer long and stuff like that. So yeah, I think 2nd grade was our very first one.
Who was the 3-on-3 squad?
I gotta think. It was me and Trent Hickman for sure, and then I believe Trainer Sudsmo and Mason Corson was our 4th. So
okay, and yeah, you mentioned 3. I mean, 3 of those 4 guys we saw get all conference.
Yeah,
your senior, like that's an incredible group. I'm sure you guys did very well. So
yeah, I think that was kind of part of our success was starting so young and playing for all those years together.
Yeah, and then talking about like you guys did so well. So we'll talk a little bit about the success here. I mean, this Valdez team, your senior year, tied for first in conference with New Holstein, I believe, with the 12-2 records I have up right here. And it was just that year was just something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a crazy year. We kind of were looked upon in the beginning of the year just because we came in with an older team and we were good all year long, and it was kind of funny because towards the end of the year we got nailed with illness. We had those last, I believe it was 4 or 5 games where Trent was just on his deathbed one night, sicker than a dog, and then Trainer got it too. I had it. I played like 2 minutes in our senior night game because I just couldn't play, and and we went into the tournament not playing our best basketball. We lost to New Holstein, I believe, in the last game of the year. Yeah, we lost the last game of the year to New Holstein. Could have won the conference outright, but ended up losing. So then, you go into the tournament not playing your best basketball, which is, not what you want. And to, have the run that we had going through, Xavier, and then ultimately losing, in the championship game. But yeah, heck of a year. I'll never forget the state games and stuff like that. And so, yeah, great year.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, I followed the team the whole year, basically. It was my freshman year. The Sheboygan Falls loss really stuck to me because I remember at home you guys took care of Sheboygan Falls 72-40 Thursday, December 22nd. And then you head to Sheboygan Falls Thursday, February 8th. They ran that zone 49-45 loss. That game to me just that stood out. Like that was a game. It was like, but
yeah, that was another thing too. We lost that game to them at their place, and then ran into them in the playoffs. And like I said before, we went in not playing the best. And, that's one of the games where you're like, oh, this could be a real tough game. And, we ended up pulling it out and moving on.
Yeah. And then you said you went through the playoffs. I mean, started Cedar Grove, Belgium, took care of them 83-36. Falls was the game that they thought it could be close. It really was 54-47. Valdez pulled away late. Southern Door then for that sectional, it was a sectional semi there. 64-50, and that was at Schwabenon. That was a pretty good game too. And then, of course, 59-57 against Xavier. That game, oh my goodness, that's ending Xavier's win streak of how many games it was. That was just that had to have been an incredible moment. And now I'm just gonna lead in my question here. Now, what was the best basketball moment in high school like for you? Like what was it?
High school wise, definitely that senior year. Just like I said before, the run we made after, getting drilled by injury and illness and whatnot down the stretch of the year, and to turn it around and yeah, like you said, to snap Xavier's win streak and just make a run at the championship game.
Yeah, for me, Kyle, one thing I want to point out, that big Kettle Moraine Lutheran win with that buzzer beater by Hickman, something else that was a moment of the ages. But just your second half performance for me against Prescott, that was, I'll be honest, that was one of the greatest halves of basketball I've ever seen played at any level. I was impressed. That was incredibly. I believe you finished the game with 35 points. You shot 10 for 19 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. You really there wasn't much going for you for the first half. I mean, I want to hear about it. Like, what was the turnaround in the second half in that game?
So, just, wanting to win, basically. I had gotten foul trouble in the first half. So, limited minutes first half. I believe it was, 4 points or something like that, whatever. But yeah, basically just coming out in the second half and, wanting to win so bad. And they didn't really have, a matchup for me just, with their personnel wise. So, that was kind of our plan was, let the offense run through me and just kind of, go with it that way. But yeah, just, letting the game come to me, the guys around me played great, and it was just, a great game.
Yeah, it was a great game. No matter what the result was, just, I mean, you had like big go ahead three, with a few seconds left, and we'll leave it at that. But it was incredible, just incredible second half performance. You, like you said, a 31-point second half, and you made the All-State first team, I believe.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and rightfully so after a performance like that. But now going to my next question here, was there ever a moment where it just hit you like, hey, I can compete at the next level, the college level? Was there a moment?
A specific moment, maybe not, but around my junior year, probably, I'd say, towards the middle of my junior year. Again, we had a pretty good team, and just kind of getting, recognition in the state awards and getting texts from like college coaches and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd say around my middle of my junior year.
Yeah. Was there, were you looking to play like maybe like baseball or football at the next level? Was that all ever in the possibility?
I thought football for a little bit, through like, probably my sophomore and a little bit of my junior year. But it didn't really work out. So then, and I always loved basketball, probably, a little bit more than football. So that was just kind of, the way it went. And like I said, I got, texts from college coaches and stuff and interest from schools and good programs. So yeah, thought why not, and let it ride.
Can we hear what schools you all got texts from? Do you remember all of them?
I was talking to a couple. There was probably 4 WEAC schools between like Platteville, a little bit of Whitewater, Stevens Point, Oshkosh, and then MSOE. I was big with them. So my thing, with the college recruitment process was engineering. I was going for civil engineering. So, that's not offered at a ton of smaller schools in Wisconsin. So that was kind of, how I limited my list. I got it down to Platteville, MSOE, and Michigan Tech, and Michigan Tech ultimately being, Division II, they never offered me. So that kind of took them off the list. And then, between MSOE and Platteville, I, just liked what was going on at Platteville and kind of went with it that way. They had a great program, and they were super good the year before I got here. So, that helps out a little bit too. So yeah, that was kind of the way it went.
Yeah, because now we'll transition to college here. I mean, that kind of answers some of my questions. So it was really, academics kind of was the main thing that was driving this decision here at Platteville, which is great. And so you said you're majoring then in civil engineering, right?
Yeah, so I came in with or studying civil engineering, and then after my freshman year, I switched to construction management, actually, which, super similar fields, just, minus the engineering part.
Okay. So then now with the college basketball, just has it been, how was it? Because now you're a senior and we've interviewed freshmen here, so they were able to really talk about the transition. So let's talk to college freshman Kyle Tuma right now. What was the transition like from Valders to like Platteville for basketball?
The biggest transition from high school basketball to college basketball, it's definitely like physicality, I'd say. That's your number one thing right there is, the game's just overall more physical, defensively, in the post, stuff like that. Guys are pushing on you. There's a lot less called, especially, like at the rim, stuff like that, finishing through contact. But yeah, and then the next thing I'd say would be like defensive intensity, I guess you could call it. But just defensive overall is, way more important in college or more emphasized, I'd say, in college than it is in high school wise. And your better players have to, in high school, you can kind of hide guys who are, bad defensively, where you can't really do that in college because all five guys on the court can really play and, are really good offensively.
So with the training, how has it been different there? Because I mean, you really didn't there wasn't like a weight room really program for basketball at the time, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe Trevor had some other things going on. Like, has he been big in open gyms?
A little bit. There wasn't a huge weight room program, but yeah, I mean, here at school, it's at Platteville, we have our own like strength coach. That's all he does. He makes up programs he does like basketball and some of the other sports, but yeah, it's, super big emphasis on it. We lift as a team for preseason, postseason, and then during the season we do too, but not as much, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's huge, because like I said, physicality wise, you need that. So to be able, just to be able to compete college wise.
Yeah, and how is like Platteville been? Because you guys are in the WIAC, so the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. So just like, who are your rivals mostly so far? I mean, now that you're a senior, like, who's been your rivals these past 4 years? Do you have a specific one in mind?
So probably Oshkosh. I'd say they've had the most success. My freshman year, they won the national title actually, and then probably Oshkosh and lacrosse. Last year, it was a battle between us three, for the conference and even my sophomore year. So my sophomore year, we won it. We won the regular season. And yeah, like Oshkosh was second, but yeah, I'd say Oshkosh and lacrosse for sure.
Yeah, in this WIAC conference, for people who don't know, UW Eau Claire, UW La Crosse, UW Oshkosh, UW Platteville, UW River Falls, UW Stevens Point, UW Stout, and UW Whitewater. So it's those D3 Wisconsin schools basically put in a conference, and that's how we get the WIAC. And the Platteville, they wrote up a nice bio about Kyle Tuma, so I can share it. I'll share it with him as well. So we'll just go off his junior year. Appeared in 10 games, started 9 and averaged 29.8 minutes per game, averaged 11.7 points and 6.9 rebounds per game. And he also made the WIAC All Academic team, and also he was an All WIAC honorable mention. So congratulations to you, Kyle, for your junior year, and hopefully maybe we'll make a conference team next year. And like you were averaging 30 minutes a game your junior year, which that's a great amount of minutes as well already too. And even like in your sophomore and freshman year, we can see you were averaging 20 plus minutes a game as well. So you've gotten a good amount of playing time through your college career so far.
Yep.
And your career high for now we're gonna read some career highs. Minutes, yeah, I mean 48 of them versus UW Oshkosh. Was that the game? It was January 29th, 2020. Was that the game where Valders actually took a bus to see you guys?
No, so that was actually here in Platteville. Okay. Yeah, my sophomore year, double overtime game. It ultimately basically led to us winning the regular season conference wise, just because they were a game behind us, I believe, in the final standings. But yeah, awesome game. Double overtime. I think we won by 2 points, something like that. So yeah, great game.
Awesome. And then your career high in points, 20 versus UW La Crosse, February 26, 2021. Rebounds, 13 versus UW Whitewater. You snagged a lot of those at Valders as well. February 19th at 2021. And then assists, you got 4 of them. You had 4 2 times. Most recent was at UW Whitewater. So, and that was a different game. So, just overall, has the game, you've been able to transfer pretty well, like offensively. It's been going well throughout your freshman to senior year. You felt like you've been getting more of a feel for it?
Yep. Yeah, for sure. It's, getting more comfortable, as you go on, the guys you play with, you get more familiar with them, and that's the other thing. It's at Pleasantville. It's been since I came in. It was kind of, it was older guys that when I was a freshman, a lot of seniors, and they went on to graduate. But then since my sophomore year, it's been a lot of the same guys playing. So it's been super, super great to get, comfortable with those guys and just ultimately playing together. So, and, that's a big thing in the growth of a young player is, the guys around you and just them helping you, grow.
For sure. And we're going to transition here to the roster. I mean, you guys you mentioned you have a team full of seniors. I mean, I believe you said 8 of them, right? Is that where we're at?
Yep. 8 guys.
That's phenomenal for this group of guys here. And then you guys have a big roster in general. I mean, you got a lot of freshmen and sophomore as well. A few juniors sprinkled in here, I see. And a lot of these guys are actually from the Wisconsin area. Have you played against any of these guys before in high school or AAU?
Carter and Drew were big ones that I played against a lot in high school. But other than that, not really.
Okay. Yeah.
The roster's starting to be more from Illinois and a lot of Chicago guys now.
They really changed like the recruiting, like were areas or
not necessarily. It's kind of always been the same areas. They pull a lot from not necessarily Chicago area, but around the suburbs and Wisconsin. They get a lot of guys from like the Madison area. So I'd say that's the kind of the general makeup of the team this year. But yeah, I haven't had any previous run-ins with anyone on the team.
Okay, and now they also announced the schedule. I see September 28th this was posted. So we get to see I'm just looking through it here to kick off the year at Bowrine Court Monday, November 8th to kick off the year. Is that accurate, right? We're going to face
against Blackburn, I believe.
Blackburn, indeed. And they were actually the St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic Conference champion last year. So that should be a tough test to start the year. A good old non-con game. Kick it off. Good test for the Pioneers who, like you said, very experienced. Hopefully they can make a run in D3 this year as well. And also then the road you guys face Whitworth on Bowrine Court November 12th at 7 p.m., which is the Gabe Miller.
another good team.
Awesome. And then the Gabe Miller Classic, is that like you guys play some games there, like a tournament kind of thing?
Yeah, so that's kind of our, I guess, preseason tournament, you could call it. But yeah, it's 3 or 4 teams, and then they'll all be in Platteville, and we'll play our games here and over multiple days. But yeah, that's our kind of, or not preseason, but you get the gist of it. So
yeah, and Coach Guard said it better, right? That's coach here. Yeah, Jeff Guard. Yeah, he says it best here. The non-con slate. It's going to be a great preparation for the challenge of the 14-game WIAC schedule, which I think he's right here based on what you've said, and plus you're playing a team that won a conference last year, so that should be good here. And then also we got where are we at here? The first road trip that will be against Concordia Chicago, and that's not your conference. That's the conference that Johnny Tim and Spencer Stryker are in from St. Norbert. So that's a different conference there. But yeah, I'm just looking through the conference schedule here. You guys travel to UW La Crosse December 1st to kick off the conference, I believe, is what I'm seeing here. And then you guys
they threw the two conference games in the middle of the non-conference schedule. Usually it's not done, but for some reason this year they're doing it. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm seeing that here. And then UW River Falls visits Platteville for the first home conference game of the year. So that's Saturday, December 4th. So if you go to UW Platteville, better be there. Cheer on the Pioneers. I mean, as they try to win the conference yet again. So you guys also will travel to Michigan to face, is it Olivet and Hope College? That's before final exams.
Yep.
Ooh, that's what they say here. Yep. And you guys also will play St. Norbert, right?
Yep. No? Yeah, we go to, well, it's not for sure, but we go to their Christmas tournament. So I believe if we win and they win, we'll play each other.
Awesome. Okay. yeah, it doesn't really go into depth here. And on here, it says possibility. So I didn't know if that was for sure or not.
Yeah, it looks kind of goofy on the schedule. I know what you're talking about.
Awesome. Yeah. And then I got to lastly talk about senior night. So that will affect you this year, right? Everything goes right?
Yes, it will. Yep.
Wednesday, February 16th. And that's when UW Eau Claire visits the Platteville Pioneers at 7 p.m. So
yep.
Hopefully, I mean, because now fans are allowed this year. And last year, right, you guys played it with no fans. How was that like?
Yeah, no fans last year. It it wasn't great. Not a ton of energy in the gym, but you work with what you got, and it was still overall a good year. We pulled out the conference regular season and tournament. So
yeah, and hopefully the fans come back. Of course they will. They got to come cheer. Pioneer Nation's got to be there. Cheer on the Platteville Pioneers. Hopefully they win it again in conference. I wish you the best, Kyle, and I'll for sure be watching the UW Milwaukee Panthers with Patrick Baldwin Jr. at the Panther Arena this year. That's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, that'll be a treat watching him.
Getting to watch a lottery pick play, and hopefully we'll get him on the podcast here. That's a goal of ours here at Jordon.
Yeah, there you go.
We got to get him on for an interview. We're gonna try to get some other basketball players at Milwaukee on. Hopefully that means he'll come on soon. But yeah, Kyle, you want to shout yourself out?
Yeah, for sure. No, thanks, Drew. Thanks for doing this. So wish you best of luck and thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Like, do you got an Instagram you want to shout out or something?
Yeah, I do. I don't even know what the username is now that you say that.
Kyle.Tuma. I'll help you out.
There you go. Thanks, Drew.
So yeah, follow Kyle on Instagram, Kyle.Tuma. And then for us, Jordan and Drew, the sports crew, is our Facebook, and then Jordan Drew _sports crew is the Instagram. YouTube, Jordan Drew, the sports crew. But yeah, Kyle, I appreciate you coming on. I wish you the best for school this year, academically and athletically, and I hope you guys do some great things. I hope you do great things individually and as a team. So good luck, Kyle.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you. Good luck to you too.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So with that being said, thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Jordan and Drew, the sports crew, the perfect podcast.